I'm carrying far too much pack than I should have for this style of episode. Mainly because I've bought some items with me that feature in another episode. I bought a tarp as well. I wish I'd bought a camo net. It's all been a bit last minute ad hoc. I wanted to go out the other night, I couldn't make it, so instead I thought tonight would do. And a wool jumper, new trousers, and a few hot brews. I'm hoping is going to take us down if it hits that 5 degrees centigrade or Celsius tonight. Okay, I've never been to this woodland before. Haven't even recce'd it. It's going to be a good night, this. It's gone pretty quiet. The sun's on the way down. Let me count. Probably an hour before I'll lose all light here, because I'm on the south side, and what that means, the sun is going to come up right in front of me where my feet are going to sleep. So let's have a talk through what was in the pack, other than something else which you're going to see on another episode. Well, this is your pretty standard roll-up kip mat. Again, really standard Gore-tex army bivvy. Now this is my ground sheet. It'll do as a pillow, so I'll put him there, that there. Now I was going to do all this in an Arctic tent, but in an Arctic sleeping bag, sorry. This is 3/4 length inflatable army mat. Keep some of them lumps and bumps at bay. I'll be sleeping in the Softy Suit, which is the jacket section, the pants section. I've got my Arctic Army socks, commando style wool jumper, that's warm. I bought a hood there with me as well. I bought a basha with me, that's going up next. In some of the side pockets I have, I wish I'd put my monocular so I can see out, can't find that. A vintage little tea light lantern, that's real glass. So that's going to just sit down beside me. I also have a canteen cup I can put a couple of tea lights in as well, but you're not going to be able to get hold of one of these very easily, because like I said, it is vintage, it's collectible. And I've always had the hurricane lamp, but that's a bit big, a bit bulky. Tea light candles and a little beautiful little lantern there. It's so sweet. So that's going to burn these little tea lights for about 3.5 hours each, and I bought a whole tube of them. Well, it's just a bud can, and I've used the metal off it, cut it with scissors and just taped it down the seam, and it just makes it ideal to carry out your tea light candles. DPM basher, this has got to go up pretty soon. Spare cordage, pegs. The ground is pretty soft. Oh, I bought far too many pegs. I thought I didn't bring enough, and then I put extras in, and now I've just found them all. I've got enough here to put about 3 tents up. It's ridiculous. I'm going to have a brew pretty soon. Let it go a little darker first. Now, I also have another bivvy as well, just British Army bivvy bags. I'll have to make that another car boot episode, because I got them on the car boot. And last night, or was it the night before, I was out, 2 bivvies, and the Arctic had a lot lighter hydration and cook system, and it was okay. It certainly wasn't cold, and you're not going to be with 2 bivvies. I had a bivvy inside the Arctic bag and another bivvy on the outside, and that works fantastic, and that is what I was going to bring tonight. But like I said, I wanted to show you the cook system and all the bits and bobs that have come with it, but that shouldn't have been put in the bag. Let me just untie a bungee, that's what I was doing there. So yeah, I'm going to see, I don't know if I should have an A-frame or just, I need to be concealed against behind you where the farm is. It's pretty far away, but you never know who's about. There seems to be a pond or a lake, and I'm really getting dehydrated. Okay, that shelter was all a bit last minute ad hoc. Couldn't really make my mind up what kind of shelter I want. It's spring, it's not going to go below 0. It might get pretty cold in the night. That's why I bought my softies, which is really equivalent just to a jungle sleeping bag, but at least if I need to scarper in the night, I don't need to roll that sleeping bag up. I literally just walk out in it or run out in it. Here's a shelter. It's for a bivvy, Gore-tex bivvy. I've got any wind coming will be from behind here. Okay, I've lined off a few trees. It's a very basic A-frame with one side that's been roped out. Inside is the mat, temporary pillow. I'm going to inflate the inflatable sleep mat, and I'll be putting that under my bivvy, and if it gets any colder than it is right now, I'll pop on the bivvy suit. I was going to bring out a full bivvy suit, which, you know, my carp fishing suit, and just have a lie down on that. That's all I need. Basha in one pocket, stove in the other, water on my back, walk out. But it's an incredibly hot thing to wear to walk in, so you'd have to carry it. I'm carrying something like that. The carp suit or bivvy suit is heavier than my Arctic sleeping bag, a lot less hassle, because my bivvy suit I just put on and lie down. So I'm going to adapt that bivvy suit a lot before that gets properly trialled. The weather's warming up. Anyway, I brought Napoleon with me for tonight, so I won't be eyes open for that much longer. A little twig bucket, fire bucket. This is what I use. It's a drainer for cutlery. Can't say it. Twigs in that. Keeps you cosy by the night. And so does a little Napoleon. Because the head will be exposed tonight out of the bivvy, it'll be one of these. Very, very warm. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to start wearing my a little lamp here, because I need to know where it is at all time now. And this is a smashing little bit of kit, because you only have to click this 3 clicks and it's bright, or shall I say at its brightest, brighter, and then bright. So 3 bright settings. It doesn't do any of this stupid thing where it has to flash all different patterns over and over. It is a simple head torch. I'll show you what I've bought for the evening meal. It's very, very simple. I'm going to do some rice, put that in the water, and I'm going to add to it a chicken curry. Okay, that's the water on for the rice. I'm going to get a lid. I have found a lid. You'll recall me having the Crusader Mark II cook set here I had for my birthday. This, my friends, is a Crusader Mark I lid. If you've ever wondered whether the Crusader Mark I lid fits the Crusader Mark II, it does. Okay, I've got a windshield for this, so that's going round, and it'll help keep some of the breeze at bay. There's not much of a breeze, as you can see. Fantastic. Now there's someone out there has popped a couple of shots off with a 12 bore. It's probably after rabbit. There's plenty of rabbit round here, and if he's shooting them, when I come back here, because I will come back to this location, it is lovely. Probably hammock next time. I'll bring a snare with me, and maybe my catapult or crossbow or something like that. But I'm going to keep a very, very low profile tonight if there's someone about with a gun. Surprisingly quite tired as well. I bet you it's not that late. I think it's about 20 to 7. I'm not going to find out what happened in Emmerdale. I'd rather be here. Stove is burning amazingly. I can't wait for you to see the stoves episode, because there's some belters that are homemade. This is one of them, and it's fantastic. It's come into its own. I haven't bought with me things like salt and pepper. Oh, there's another shot gone off. I don't know if you heard that. And another. And another. That means there's 2 people taking pot shots out there. So long as that gunshot noise doesn't come any closer, I'll be quite happy. I haven't brought with me a whistle either to indicate that I'm here. I'm on somebody else's land. I've got no right being here at all. Oh, lovely. Come on, boil up. And as soon as that's boiled up a little, I'll add the curry, and we've got a handsome dinner. This could be the next camp for the hammock season. And while I'm checking this out, I want to have a look where them shots were fired from. There were 4 shots fired in quick succession, which means there's 2 people with a 12 bore each. There's another one. I might just leave the camp set up as it is and have a bit of a recce. I don't want to get too close. sure I can see something. They're not going to be hunting very long because the light's going. I just don't want them to find this camp. Bear with me. I'm just going to change my socks now to my Arctic weather socks, because I've been walking. It's quite a long walk in today, and it's been worth it because I found some new locations en route, and I was going to just camp in the field down there and have a fire going up against a stone and a basha over the top of it. It'd have been fantastic, but I was so curious to what was here, because I've only seen it from the road, and got curious, and it's my new, well, new but not new, Arctic socks. Oh man, you can't beat fresh socks when you get into camp. You really can't. It's fantastic. Oh, I should have washed my feet really and got some more hot water on, and this is good enough. Oh man, I'm not even going to put my boots on for a bit. Fantastic. Give this a stir. Time to add in the chicken curry. Wow, that is one big portion. Back onto the stove, heat that through. All I've got to do now is just heat up the curry. See if this food is anywhere near ready. Sticking to the bottom, I can tell you that. This is going to be roasting. Could have done the rice a little more. In fact, I'm going to. I haven't actually got a way of getting this system, cook system, to simmer. Not yet. I'm not giving up. I'll show you what I've resorted to. So there's the windshield with the stove in it. It's one hell of a stove in it. It's sat on top of the windshield, and it still, as you can see, has the power to really get that curry into touch there. So I really need, it's going to be hot, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I knew all this was going to be incredibly hot, all the handles and everything, and I'm sick of burning myself, and I'm going to need them tonight. Wool gloves. You should always cook using your wool gloves, especially round hot camp cookers like this. Now, no burnt fingers, I hope. Well, that's not usually like me to not let the rice cook through properly. I usually test the rice first, and then add the curry. I think it's because of the lack of ability for that stove to simmer. Threw that out a bit. There's still shooting going on in the back. Usually, every time I go out, there's pretty much some kind of animal company, but as soon as them birds stopped singing. It's just me on my own. I haven't bought an MP4 and I haven't bought a book to read. Excuse me. Hot. So absolutely no entertainment there, but I don't plan on wanting much in the way of being entertained. All I want to do is get them softies on, jump in, light myself this little comforter, the twig fire in the bucket, and I might treat myself to a little bit of brandy and just wait for the sun tomorrow morning. Okay, the bivvy bag. I'm going to obviously have to make the car boot treasures part 2, because I've got some cracking kit already. But spoiler alert, the British Army Gore-tex bivvy was 2 UK earth pounds sterling. Now I did find another Gore-tex bivvy bag, and he won 15 for the bivvy bag. He'd throw a sleeping bag in for 25. I thought it's probably worth it, but I just haven't got either 15 or 25 quid on me. I think I had about a few quid left over. And the guy said he saw I had some kit with me, and he says, if you hang on a minute, I've got some stuff in the boot. So then he brings a big bag of everything out. There were norgies, jumpers, pouches, and out-popped. Not just one, but 2 little bivvy bags. Now the other guy, remember, wanted 15 quid each, and again said how much, and he said 2 quid. I couldn't believe my luck. I bought 2 bivvies for 4 quid, and I wish I'd have filmed the last time I was out, because I took them 2 bags out, the 2 bivvies, 1 Arctic bag, the tarp, and it was fantastic, because I had 1 Gore-tex bivvy inside the sleeping bag with me, and the other on the outside, so I had 2 layers of air insulation. I'm not even sure how good a softie is going to be in early spring, but I'm about to find out. I'm just going to take a walk and see if I can get a phone signal and send a text message just to say I've arrived here safely, and there's no need for an immediate evac. I like it here. We was going to come here on a separate video and recce all this first, like we should have done. I struck lucky that it was just suitable for a ground dwelling system like a bivvy. And speaking of which, I'll put my curry down there for a minute. Softy Suit is going on. I'm going to keep my boots on. Where are you? I'm going to keep my boots on. So I can unzip the pants section. not get them too dirty. And there you go, a wearable sleeping bag, and it should allow me to stay quite warm. Still eating this rice. Make a start at trying to get some of these twigs dried out and lit. It's going to be a nightmare, but I'll persevere. I put a cat stove underneath to dry out this wood here. Here's the cup that I'm going to use for my coffee, and I've got a little surprise for myself to go into here. It's starting to turn to dusk now. I'm plenty tired, and that fanny up there has not stopped firing that gun. I swear it's getting closer. $250ml, probably too much. Everything has been washed up from the curry. Just a little pinch of brandy. There you go. Just a little capful like that. And the rest of this bottle goes in there. There you go. Pour that capful back in. Where's my stirrer machine again? I'm getting quite good at putting things back where I remember where they belong, because of this new system with the canteen cook system. It's a phenomenal piece of kit. I can't wait to show you that. I'm going to film it in the morning if we've got any batteries left. And before I totally lose the light, cheers by the way, tend the little fire bucket, and then I'm going to call it a night, guys, and I shall see you in the morning, providing this idiot doesn't shoot me. Yeah, I haven't heard his gun going off. Before I turn it in for the night, this nightcap is going down a treat, by the way. I've only bought 5 of them coffees, so you know, I don't know if I've got enough brandy for all that coffee. I might just light up one of them tea lights in the lantern, and I'll leave you with that. If nothing else happens in the night, I'm turning it in. I am bushed, absolutely bushed. So good night, guys, and all being well, I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Now, you're not going to notice, but camp was changed this morning. It got a wee bit cold in the night, enough to wake me. I tried to put a fire in the fire bucket. It wasn't enough. So I've got this type of fire. I'm going to show you how to make this type of fire on another episode, because this one's self-feeding with plenty of air. You don't need to do much. You don't need to hardly do anything. I mean, that'll go for hours, and it's only about maybe a foot long, 12 inches. But the basha has now been placed on a different couple of trees, and this is going to make kind of screen against the fire, because farmers are always up at dawn. It is dawn, there is light. So I'm packing up some of the elements of the kit, but I haven't had breakfast yet. I still need water, desperate for water. Well, good morning properly, and just put my wash kit down into some light. I just want to brush my teeth really. Just feel a bit rammy. Yeah, God knows what time it was. It must have been maybe 4 o'clock this morning, and the temperature took one hell of a dip. It was certainly in the region of 4 degrees, enough to wake me up, and I felt cold. Give me a minute. That's the first sun of the morning, and it is fantastic. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is a lie-in for me while I'm out camping in the wild. It's a proper good lie-in for me. So a majority of the night I must have slept really, really well. The batteries are gonna die on this machine any minute. So I will take this opportunity to thank you for watching this episode, and for my long-suffering subbies who have subbed a long time, thanks for staying with me. This is such a great new location. I'll be coming back here with a hammock setup, same deployment bag, pretty much same everything, different kit. 1 litre of water was nowhere near enough for a bivvy camp overnighter, any kind of overnighter really. All I've had was about 2 brews and the tiniest smidgen of water for washing up. And I'm in a real dilemma now, because I only have the tiniest amount of water left. It's either going to be enough for a cup of tea or coffee, which I really, really want, or on the other hand, I could do my ablutions and have a swill down. Do you know, I can have a good hot bath when I get back to base. So I'm not really bothered, and I'm going to have a sweaty walk back in. It was the full walk, about 9 or nearly 10 miles. It was enjoyable as well, but a lightweight system, and it doesn't get much more lightweight, by the way, than a softy and a bivvy bag, you know. But there's scope to bring that weight right down. The hammock setup is lighter. I'm going to bring 2 litres of water with me next time, and that will be in the form of a camelback, and I can clip them camelbacks onto the backpack itself, and I can hydrate through a straw, a mouthpiece as I go.